Hey guys, what's up? Is the cyberpunk genre an accurate depiction of the future? I'm pretty sure you've seen this. You've seen these cyberpunk artwork and cyberpunk like pieces on Instagram and like all the social media. If you look up cyberpunk, you're gonna see these really cool aesthetic stories and these aesthetic like artworks about like motorcycles that float. Huge cities overpopulated with technology, people wearing technology and then like driving around. Everything is real high tech. You know, people like are wearing high tech, people are connected to high tech. Everything is neon and all cool like that. So, and basically like the story is that, and the industries, the companies and the organizations like the companies that, you know, they own the future. All of the companies, like the major companies, are the ones that kind of like dictate, you know, what happens and what the future is and everything like that. So is it an accurate depiction of the future? Cyberpunk started like a long time ago. There was a novel called about cyberpunk in the 80s, and people were like looking into the future saying it's going to be like high technology, it's going to be people connected to computers, and there's a lot of AI, artificial intelligence. There's a lot of like not just people connected to computers, but like people like integrated with computers, people and basically like in this genre, like everyone's working with computers, everyone is working for these huge companies that pretty much rule the world and stuff like that. And it's all neon and it's all cool and it's all wearable technology. It's just like really a cool aesthetic. Yeah, and it's this crazy like prediction of the future where corporations basically own the world. They basically run everything because they have the money, they have the power, they're the organizations that are just huge. The billion-dollar companies are more powerful than any governments or anything like that, just because they have more money. Governments don't really have money. They kind of exist, and they try to like, you know, rule. They try to like, exist and as part of cities and stuff like that, as part of the whole organization of the way things work. But they're not really in charge. And what's really in charge is these like huge corporations that are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, so government like policies don't really affect them because they have so much money. They can buy their own policies. They basically control everything because, you know, they're just so big. They're so rich. They have so much money. So they have so much like pull, and they have so much like control over the world and what the world is like. So, is that the way that the future is going to become? I mean, is it? I mean, you could look at it and say, this is a possible future. This is a possible future where technology is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Artificial intelligence is gonna have like basically robots walking around us. We walk into a store, instead of a person walking up to us and asking us to help us, you'll get a robot with artificial intelligence asking us, you know, if we want like to look at some kind of pants or whatever it is, you know. And tech is becoming huge, and where technology was something that was just an option for people before. In the 80s, it was only an option to buy a computer. You didn't need one, right? You didn't need a computer. It was an option, and now it's like a necessity to have a computer. You can't really function without a computer. So, you know, but is that the future? Is it gonna look like that? Are you gonna walk out in the street and it's always gonna be raining and cloudy, and it's always gonna be cars going back and forth, cars floating, like air cars basically floating around, things in the sky like helicopters and stuff like that, computers basically just being so smart that they know what you want to buy as soon as you walk into a store, because they recognize you and they remembered like the last thing you bought in that store. So if you walk into a store, if you walk into the Gap or something, you walk in and say you bought a pair of pants or a shirt or something. As soon as you walk in, the computer recognizes you, and a robot will walk up to you and say, oh, you bought that shirt last time you were here, even if that was months ago. They'll still remember that shirt you bought from them, and they'll be like, hey, we've got the new style of that same shirt, or would you like that shirt in different colors? Let me show you some of these things. So everything is automated, with computers being so smart and computers basically doing everything. All the menial jobs are really run by computers, and anything where, you know, if you check into a hotel, there's going to be an artificial intelligence computer checking you in, doing these menial jobs, things that are just very simple to do. You know, computers basically, robots making your food at fast food places, where it's like pretty much all they have to do is this mechanical stuff. They would just have to, like, you know, put food here and then flip it and then cut it and whatever it is and serve it. Really, really simple. And people basically are, most of the people, what they do is they work on these computers to make them better. They work for these corporations to make the corporations bigger. They try to make computers smarter. They try to make computers better, even though computers can make themselves better and smarter. It's interesting because it doesn't, like, the genre of cyberpunk doesn't explain everything that's happening in the world. It doesn't explain all of the reasons. It doesn't explain how the world got that way. It just says that, like, if we keep going more into a technological direction and less into a natural direction, our whole world, our whole environment will be technological, where when you walk out in the street, you don't see trees and grass and, like, birds flying and like squirrels everywhere. What you see is, like, streets, and it's raining all the time because the weather is bad, and you know, cars just going back and forth, and lots of noise and air traffic, and, like, big screens with commercials everywhere, because, you know, the government, the corporations are so powerful that they can buy commercial space wherever they want to put it. And the government and people really can't do really anything about it, because it's just the way the system is working now. So, like, you know, they could buy up, like, a side of a building and put a TV screen and have a commercial running 24 hours. And, you know, and just people have to walk by these commercials and constantly have to see them and look at them, rather than, like, putting some beautiful art on the building or something like that. And, you're walking around and it's always raining because the weather's bad, because corporations have, like, you know, just the atmosphere has changed, and there's no trees anywhere, there's no nature, you know, there's no nature, there's nothing, you know, it's just a city. And, like, it's just because there's less and less nature and less trees and forests and everything, it affects the weather, and the weather's always cloudy and always raining, you know. And people are just connected to their tech. They'll buy technology. Everything is like, what do you call it? Like lasers and stuff like that. It's just, everything is artificial intelligence. Everything is, you know, people, like, put on those visors and they see virtual reality everywhere, and everything is virtual, and they have lasers, and you know, instead of, like, things are holographic. Instead of being on a screen, they're just, like, a holographic, and they're virtual reality. And people just walk around with their virtual reality glasses on, seeing whatever they're seeing. For, you know, for, like, hobbies, for enjoyment, they put on virtual reality, and they go into another whole nother existence where they're living in a virtual place. Like, they put on these virtual reality glasses and these like things, and they're teleported into, like, completely another computer generated reality, where part of the life that they're living on is, like, this virtual reality life, where they interact with other virtual reality people also connected to that virtual reality computer, and they interact through these avatars, through these, like, computer generated people that they live a second life from, in addition to their first life, because of the way virtual reality can make things bigger than life and more interesting. And then the regular world, instead of having nature everywhere, is just full of commercials, corporations. If you can't walk down the street without, like, you know, commercials coming at you, without, like, you can't walk into a store without robots trying to like sell you stuff, or people trying to sell you stuff, and they know the last thing you bought because they have it in their glasses, or they have it like, or they have it like as soon as you walk in, a commercial pops up in virtual reality, or a commercial pops up in like a laser hologram, showing you like more of a thing that you've bought. Just like on a computer, if you search for a certain thing, for the next week, they're showing you commercials of that thing that you searched for just once. If you were curious about, whatever, if you were curious about, a house plant, you're gonna get houseplant commercials and people trying to sell you houseplants, for the next week on your internet browser, because all you did was search houseplants for one time, and now the computer algorithm thinks that you want to buy houseplants, and all these people they want to sell this to you. And with computers and technology, they're like wearable. They can actually put that, like, they can wear it, or they can like they can kind of like wear technology, or they can put it like inside of them, so it's just like they can interact with it on such a intimate level where they can pretty much like enhance anything that they do. Like a telephone could be like a band, and they can actually just like, it doesn't even have to be an actual physical phone. It's just like, maybe it's a wristband or something like that, or a bracelet. And right away, when someone calls you, you can click the button and you can just talk without having anything to talk into. But it hears what you're saying, and it transports the information to your ear and whatever it is. It's just like higher technology, but the point of the technology, like the direction of the technology, is there just to serve these huge corporations. Like, the whole point of technology is to make those corporations more powerful, and to make people rely on what those corporations are selling. They make technology so that people have to buy it, so that people need to wear it. That's why they're making technology better, so that you have to have the latest version of whatever technology it is, and it has to be something that you have to use, you have to wear, and people's jobs are working with technology, creating more technology, working on computers, making robots, making like androids, or like whatever technology, like robot you can make, and creating high tech, and working for these companies, and creating higher and higher technology, so that the companies have like a new thing to sell every year to people that are just buying this new stuff because they need to have the latest technology, or they want to have the latest technology. And these companies, they really don't care about anything else than the profit they're making from people. So they don't care about making the world a better place. They don't care about doing something that's good for society, that's good for humanity, that's good for people. They care about making the newest technology, so that the next year, the technology that comes out is something that people have to buy, and they have to give their money to these corporations, where, like every year, and the corporations are just making higher and higher tech through AI and through people working for them. And then they come out with this new technology every year, and then people have to buy this new technology, just to stay in touch with everything and be in the loop, and just be able to live and work and interact in this world where technology is necessary just to interact, just to live in the world. You have to have technology, and you have to have the latest technology, because like older technology becomes obsolete. So that's the thing. So that's the idea that the cyberpunk genre kind of has of the future. I know it has to do with hacking and stuff like that, but I don't know. That's just, some people are into that. But the cyberpunk genre has this like idea of the future, and is it is it the future? Obviously, it is a possible future. Things could go that way, or there can be a resurgence. There could be a resurgence. There could be people that are there to protect the world and protect nature and protect our, liberty and our privacy, and, and protect us as people and what we believe in. And it's more than just companies making money on average people. It's about a direction where things that matter are put into place, that the world is more of a utopia, not a dystopia, even though maybe each is an extreme of some sort, but that the world is a good place that you want to be in, that the weather is nice, it's sunny, it's a good day, the air is good. I mean, there's nature outside, there's animals, there's woods, there's trees and everything, and technology interacts with people in a positive way to make their life a better thing, not to make people its slave. So what do you guys think? Is the future a positive, good place where good people are going to take it into a good direction, or are like corporations going to cyberpunk the whole world and, create this thing where they just keep making more and more money and have no ethics and don't care about the direction of humanity and what's important to people? Let me know what you guys think in the comment. Please like and subscribe to my channel and like the video if you want. Hit that like button in the face. And any comments that you guys have about this kind of thing? It's real interesting. If it's interesting to you, please comment. And I will see you guys in another video. And thanks for watching. And you guys rock. And take care. And I'll see you in another video later.